Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Cataclysm of Hyrule campaign. I am the GM and creator of the campaign, Puck Finn. For those joining us, welcome. Um, Before we get started tonight, we're going to go over some kind of introductory points. Then we will introduce our players, do a quick recap, and then we will get right down to it. I hope everyone is excited for this session as I am. So before we get the ball rolling, first thing I always like to do is I always like to talk about our Discord server, and I always like to recommend that if you are not yet part of our Discord server, that you follow the link on our link tree and get on it. So all of our links, our Discord, our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, as well as a number of other links are on our link tree. So we have one new addition to our link tree. So we have this thing going where if you follow us on Twitch and you are broadcasting at the conclusion of one of our broadcasts, it doesn't matter if it's a campaign broadcast or a chat broadcast, at the conclusion of a broadcast, if you are doing a stream, we will raid you. So up until recently, we have had 3 channels posted, and I highly recommend checking out those 3 channels. But we have a new channel on our link tree. It is, I don't want to misspeak, the link is on there and definitely worth checking out. But it is Captain Jessica Harkness. So, usually I like to do a little blurb whenever someone gets added. So I've spoken about Jess in the past on various chat broadcasts. Her most notable claim to fame pertaining to me and the creation of this campaign is that she was my first original DM. I've told stories about when I ended up just kind of going to my local gaming shop because they had a post of a weekly D&D game that they were posting that was new player friendly if you were looking to learn. And quite honestly, I was looking to learn. I was looking to learn how to play. And when I got to the table, Jess was the one who was DMing the campaign. Honestly, for the life of me, I could not tell you what the module was. Because I was so new. I'm not even sure if it was a module, a homebrew, or if it was a module with elements of homebrew added to it. Excuse me. So, she is no longer my GM, and but she periodically does Twitch streams. So, she was broadcasting at the conclusion of last week's chat broadcast, so we raided her. I want to thank everyone that participated in the raid. Just as every other raid in the past, it was met with nothing but welcoming, warmness, acceptance, and respect. And for that, I thank everybody who not only participated in that, but in every raid we have done so far and will continue to do in the future. So, again, if you yourself are a Twitch broadcaster, Twitch streamer, and you would like a little bit of extra promotion, it is quite that simple. All you need to do is follow us, be broadcasting at the conclusion of our chat or campaign sessions, and we will not only raid you, but we will add the link to your Twitch channel on our link tree, as you can see if you go check it out. So with that, I think that will conclude our announcements because I'm really excited. So, um, what we will do now, excuse me, is take it over to introductions. So we have two halves of Lido because we are currently missing. Gully is not currently with us. He's running a little bit late. Let me see if I can. I know the moment I fix this, he's going to jump on, and it's going to I'm going to have to fix it again. But that's part of the fun. So let me see if I can fix this real quick. All right, and then give me sources. Let's turn off the Gully dash cam for the moment, and we'll put it back on when he gets back on, and we'll know he gets on because Lita will take a whole nother shift, and I'll have to fix that again. So, first up this week is Deacon. How you doing, Deacon?
He's doing well. Can't believe Leto is multiplying. Very impressive trick. Cass did not know he knew mirror image.
Yes. Very true, very true. Lito's always full of surprises.
And very much looking forward to the antics he has planned for today. I see a very interesting look on his face, and that's how I know we're gonna have a good and fun day.
Yes, I think we've all come to recognize and love that look that he gives.
Absolutely.
Just the
Can't
chin
wait.
just comes up a little bit, tweaks the. There it is. There it is.
There it is. You'll love to see it.
Wonderful. So,
Yes. Very excited.
yes, welcome, Deacon. Happy to have you as always. Lido, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing very good so far tonight. So there is one little thing that
Mhm.
I think we need to let everybody know about. Is if we have any new people, if we have some old people, we should actually tell you guys what we're playing, so that we kind of have an idea. We won't tell you the level or anything. We'll just tell you who we are, our name maybe, and race. Kind of a good idea, so that way everybody knows.
You know what? That is a great idea. All right. So, you know what? Let's start off with you. We'll circle back to Deacon, and then we'll have Fiend do her introduction when we get to her. So, Lita, welcome. Tell us about yourself.
Okay. So I play a character named Lido Debon. I might be royalty? Question mark. I am a Zora. If you really look at it, I kind of look like the prince from Breath of the Wild, the big red guy, except a little bit different, but still as handsome. I play a druid, a moon kind, specifically because the fact that that's kind of awesome, and I can turn into all kinds of things. I think I'm pretty powerful, and I think that's it.
All
But yeah.
right. Wonderful. Thank you for that introduction, Lita. I tried to bring up real quick, but I think I'm already starting to. Yep, we're not going to do that. All right. So let's circle back to Deacon. Deacon, want to tell us a little bit about your character?
Hi. Meet Deacon, business scrub extraordinaire. Come from selling little potions to making bigger potions now as a most recent side quest. At the moment, me swords bard. Like playing little tunes on my ocarina. Love playing little tunes on my new sword flute. Um That's it. I love music and I love picking pockets. Those are probably me two passions in life.
Wonderful, wonderful. Wait, did I lose? Wait, did I lose Lito's picture? There you. Wait, oh boy, Here we go. Okay. All right. And Afine, how you doing, Afine?
I am doing great, thank you.
What would you like to tell our listeners about your character?
Well, I am playing Athene, no last name given because she never was given one by my pure mistake as a player.
Afine
She is a
Snow.
divine soul sorcerer.
Wonderful.
Sorry, she's a divine soul sorcerer recently pulled in from another timeline, which had a calamitous end, which goes some way to explaining why she doesn't really match any official art of any Zora. She is in fact a mix between Breath of the Wild and Twilight Princess in her design.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you can, there is on our link tree, I always do like to promote the person who did her artwork is on our link tree under the name Elf Dolly. So if you want to check that out, if you're looking to get any commissioned work done, anything like that, or you just want to check out some really cool artwork, the link is on our link tree. So moving forward, or dwelling on the past, what is there we go. What is going on with what is the fiend looking forward to?
Athene current goal is just to help as much as possible. Help anyone who needs it, basically. Or she thinks needs it. Or over.
Very nice. And with the trouble that this party loves to get into, there is never any small amount of help that is in need. And Gully, how you doing, Gully?
Good.
Good, good. So, it's been a while since we've done character introductions. So we're doing along with our kind of normal talking about what we're looking forward to or what we enjoyed about the last sessions. We're just talking a little bit of character introduction. So, would you like to tell our viewers about Gully?
Uh, sure. So the basics, of course. His name is Gully. He is primarily a Rune Knight fighter. He's multi-classed. Was multi-class with Paladin, but through some events that have occurred, he actually has wizard levels now. Of course, that hasn't been revealed in game, but yeah. So he's got some wizardry going on with him now. He is kind of on a personal quest to find his lost love or finally be able to let go of her if she's no longer alive. And yeah, that's kind of where Gully is right now. Just
Wonderful.
trying to still find his way in the world and yeah, make a difference.
That is a very relatable story to many of us looking for love and trying to find our way in the world. So,
Hopefully not in all the wrong places.
yes, yes. You know, you have to, what did they say? You have to kiss a number of frogs. But unfortunately, the only frog we've run into thus far in the campaign is Kyburn, and I don't think anybody wants to kiss him.
Nah. He was not very kissable.
So, um, so a quick recap as to what has been going on in the campaign for the past 4 sessions. We have been spending a lot of time in with Gorons in Death Mountain. We've done the Fire Temple. We have involved ourselves in done our part to quell a coup. Um, a ton of NPC character development, as well as character development amongst the players for the experiences that have happened in Death Mountain. We've reached a couple unfortunate situations where we've had some NPCs who have spent their fully allotted time in the campaign, Rolmeo, Chief Darunia, but as our party has left Death Mountain and Goron Village, they are, very content in believing that the Gorons can kind of manage their situation from here. And it was as I said in last week's broadcast, I could not have picked a better conclusion to this particular story arc within the campaign. And the session ended with our heroes leaving Death Mountain, making their way back down towards Hyrule Field, and that's where we're going to pick up. So, for the sake of brevity, because from here there's probably going to be a fair amount of travel, if it is okay with everyone, I would like to simply fast forward to you being at the foot of Death Mountain, at the edge of Hyrule Field.
Works for me.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Typically, this would take 4 hours of travel and a number of encounter rolls. But as there right now is no significant interaction that could come of those encounter rolls, we are just going to graze past it. So, you make your way unscathed to the bottom of Death Mountain. You can see the wind blowing the grass as it makes its way across Hyrule Field. It's still early afternoon. I'll say roughly between 9-10 o'clock. So there's still plenty of time left in the day. And you know what? As you're walking down and you start kind of thinking of ideas to where to head to next, a number of things come to mind. Lito's feeling a bit homesick. Gully still curious about his wife. Deacon also feeling a bit homesick and expressing interest in the forest temple. There has been Rohan is currently on sabbatical in Lake Hylia, and Lake Hylia is a specific point of difficulty for Leto, as this was the location of his moment of cataclysm, where he took on Qyburn with his party from his original timeline, and the moment of cataclysm ended before the battle was concluded. It ended in the death of Neil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. A Gerudo that he was traveling with by the name of Neil. So I would imagine that
Neil
kind
was
of...
his real name.
Oh. Frig.
Lorne was his
Lorne.
in-game name.
Lorne, thank you. Lorne. I thought that would be a weird name for a Gerudo.
It was a she.
Yes. Yes, because all Gerudo are... Listen, she can have his names. We're not gonna put that type of limitation.
That's what they wanted to play, so
That's right.
we made it work.
That's right. And biting my tongue. But sticking with the campaign. So I would imagine that whenever the conversation of Rohan come up and the location of his honeymoon and his sabbatical being Lake Hylia, that although not expressed, this was fair to say that this is something that weighed on Leto's mind. So there are a number of locations. There are locations that I haven't even mentioned. I'm just bringing those up for the purposes of recap. But how does the conversation go as you're making your way down Death Mountain to figure out where to head to next?
Hmm. Man. So Deacon is probably riding like pretty close to the top of Chimkin's head. If anyone else wants to ride there, of course, welcome to sit atop her. But Deacon's going to just be like, I think at this point. So, our fearless leader, you where do you think you want to head to? You look like you have something in mind.
Well, I got. Well, you see, I kind of have a couple of different places that we can go.
Mhm.
But I need to do two quick things real quick.
Okay. What are
And
those?
I reach into my bag and pull out the wand of magic missiles because I have to roll on the little chart to see how many, charges I get back. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Yay! I got a whopping 2 back. Cool. That was interesting. Kind of, fizzled a little bit. Okay, put that away. I also wanted to be like a Zop.
That pops out. He says, yes.
So you said before that you can't really record anything, right? You can just tell us about what happened.
Yes, my knowledge is strictly limited to documentation of Hyrule's past.
So everything that we've been doing, you can't remember.
I suppose that would be a reasonable upgrade to my system, but real-time recording is not something that I'm capable of.
It's up.
So
It's passed,
Ooh.
so that should be in your databanks now, right? And never mind. I'll be quiet. Leto, do your thing.
So that brings up a question. We could go find out if we can get him a little upgrade so that way he can actually record things that are happening, which might be cool.
Me can see that being fun. Maybe we could use that to find, if we run into any more people like Tony or something like that, or those murderers in the rich part of town, for example. So I could see that being actually really helpful.
Let me see. Trying to remember
Upgrades are
his
always good.
name. Here's his name.
Robbie?
Yes,
Mhm.
Robbie. Because if I remember correctly, isn't Robbie's place kind of near one of the places that we could head to? Thought it
Yeah,
was
isn't it like?
by
Oh, sorry.
Lake Hylia.
Well, the last time we saw him, he was operating out of the Great Deku Tree. I don't know if he's still there. But and at least in my timeline, his workshop was in the northwest, basically right below Rito Village, but like in the Hyrule Field area below Rito Village. I don't know if that's still true. Um, He's up. Where does your creator live?
and this holographic type map pops up, not unlike the one we're looking
Cool.
at right now, and he just pings the area right in between the two trees.
Perfect.
Yeah. So right there, he goes right there, right there. It's got a lab right there.
Thanks, up.
Welcome.
I look at Leto and give him a thumbs up.
So we have that too. But
Mhm.
Fiend, got a question for you.
Yes.
Is there anywhere you would like to go? Because I've now realized, kind of metagaming here for the moment, I just realized that we haven't really asked you much about your where you came from. So maybe there's someplace that you wanna visit.
I mean, I wouldn't mind visiting Zoa's domain to see if my brother's returned there, or is there, from my timeline.
The brother.
Uh, mm,
Is he older?
yes.
Is he younger?
We're about the same age, eggs laid at similar times.
Okay.
I
Okay.
believe
So
I
now,
brought him up before.
I remember it.
yes, I
Hey,
remember that.
um, I Deacon looks thoughtful. Not sure if me helped you with the paper or not, but you had a letter to him or something, right?
I did, but I was writing that before I realised this. It probably wouldn't get to him.
Hmm. Well, hmm. Maybe we can find a way to get to him. Maybe we should head to Zora's domain then. See, you know, there are huh. Um, let me think.
So we have.
Hey, sorry. Sorry, I want you to continue, Ludo. I didn't
No, no,
interrupt you.
I'm just, you see, he's looking at his fingers, going, just mumbling to himself.
Gotcha. So I had an idea, and I don't know if this idea is. I'm not sure if this idea actually going to work out or not. So I don't want to get hopes up too much. Um, but I've used spell before sending to carry message across like um planes and such. Uh, we'll explain how that works some other time. Used it with to help find my dad at one point. So maybe if we go to Zora's domain, you can find a way to sorry um to find out like where he is, and because if you could tell us maybe his name or something, like some stuff about him, then maybe we could help you find him. But and then if you could describe him, maybe we could send him that message, um if that I if you
Or,
want to, I mean, I'm sorry.
or I can always cry on him if you need.
Mm.
Thank you. I can definitely explain everything I know about him.
That's good.
If it helps.
Yeah. If you don't mind, I have one other idea. That just as part of this. And I take off my ring of spell storing, which I believe is empty right now. And I like I hand it over to Athene and say, here, try hanging on to this for a bit. Uh, basically out of game if you attune to this over the course of an hour. I think it's attunement. I don't know for sure.
It is.
Uh, okay, yeah. Thank you. So yeah, here, hang on to this for a while, and I'll see if I can cast sending into it, so that way you can cast sending, and the more details you can share with us, the better that might work. So if we go to Zora's domain, and so yeah, if you could share that with us as we, sorry, repeating myself, but yeah.
No, definitely. Thank you all so much.
Deacon smiles. Glad to help. You know well how hard it is to get separated from family member. Me went through lots to find Dad Guru, so the least me can do is help you with this. You know how important it is. But yeah, if you could tell us all about him, I think that would help all of us. Like help you find him and stuff.
while you do that, give me like 11 minutes. I want to do something real quick.
That perfect. It take
Alright.
hour to attune to thingy anyway.
Okay. So I'm gonna plop down on the ground and start ritually casting water breathing just in case.
Nice. Hey Puck,
Yes.
we can see that on
Oh
Twitch.
no. Oh no.
We can see everything.
Don't see
I
everything.
see
Give us the deep,
everything.
all the stuff we're not supposed to see.
Don't pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. There we go. Okay.
Wait,
I have
are
got
we
no
supposed to be
information.
watching Twitch as well? No, we're not.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm supposed
Bad
to because I
players.
have to
No,
pay
please,
attention to it.
please do, because if something messes up, I want to know about it. Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, no, absolutely. I'm giving myself a crash course on my own writing.
Fair, I feel that, dude.
Okay. So while Leto is ritual casting the water breathing for everybody, Afid, what do you tell them about? What do you divulge to the party about your brother and what you're anticipating to find in Zora's domain?
Well, the themes of sits down and starts talking about ill. The fact that his name is Ill, ILL. Blame my parents, she says. He's roughly the same height as Lido, I think, although a bit wider in the shoulders. He's quite dark green, has lighter green diamond patches, and reddy pink orangey fins.
Cool.
He is honestly one of the bravest people I know. And for a long time he was one of the only people I could speak to, my only friend. Quite honestly, I don't see how I could have been picked to save Hyrule when he was the one who always actively went out to help people first.
Deacon kind of puts his hands around yours, kind of around the ring, and he smiles and says, "Well, maybe you were picked because it's going to teach you just how much you can help people your own self without having to, be afraid or anything. It's going to show you just how much good you can do for the world, you see. I'm sure that's how they pick."
Thank you. Hey, he's the one who was training for years to join the guards.
Well, maybe he's still no match for your magic-y stuff. Never know. I mean, look at you now, taking down big old fire monsters with tidal waves. Quite something. Should be proud of that.
Hiding behind you guys while I do it? Yes. Very proud of myself.
Hey, you're nothing if not meat shields. Deku laughs, says, "A great honor for Deku to be made into shield someday, you see."
What?
Uh, yeah. See, I we eventually get made into furniture. That's that's a running gag that he always claims for instead of being buried, we get made into furniture.
Irene looks like she honestly believes you and looks mortified. It's a different timeline. She doesn't know.
He tries very hard not to laugh. It doesn't work. Just teasing. Just teasing. But yes, I he says not have fancy armor and wooden skin for nothing, if not to protect. So It'll all work out.
Oh. Sorry.
All right. So you have an 8-hour travel ahead of you to Zora's domain, unless there is an alternative method of travel that you are seeking.
Would any of
Well,
you
before
have
that,
any...
Uh,
Sorry.
let me know when 11 minutes are up, because Lito's been biting like his lip because he wants to say something during all of that, but he can't because he has to focus.
okay. So I would say about a third or a halfway into Afine's story about her brother would be an appropriate amount of time.
Okay. So I will then proceed to, for another minute, kind of act like I'm still casting it. But if you'll let me, Puck, I am going to do 3 quick little druid crafts that are kind of complicated.
Are they stealthy?
Kind of?
Is your intention for your party not to find out that you're doing it?
I'm kind of making them for them.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay. You know what? Give me a better explanation, and we'll figure out how to run it.
okay, so after he hears, Fiend's like he's my only friend and everything else like that, Lito's brain went to, okay, I have an idea. I'm going to create a like flower bracelet with 3 white roses and
Mhm.
1 rose that is half red, half white. Basically like a little bracelet. Second, when Ikun basically says that he's turned into furniture, he's going to try and grow the best that he can, a little just rope chair, just a bamboo chair.
I
And
love it.
third for, Gully, because the fact that he's worried about him, he's going to grow him a little, braided heart. So that way he knows that we care.
Okay.
Aw.
Sounds wonderful.
Oh.
Okay. So none of those things are big and going to require neither stealth nor perception check. So yeah, you can do those things, no problem.
Okay.
I'm getting Wizard of Oz vibes here.
Yeah.
Gully, lots of armor. Tin
love
Man
it.
gets the heart.
Oh.
And I made the joke about not paying attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yep.
It all comes together.
So when I finish, I'm going to get up and be like, okay, Sophia, you actually have more friends than you think. The 3 of us, at least, I hope. And of course, you have your brother, so I made you this. White roses represent friendship in flowers, and the red and white one means love and friendship. So that one will be your brother.
Oh, thank you so much.
Actually,
Gorgeous.
Deacon, I can kind of see you as a chair one day. So I made you one.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
A
I
little chair for
appreciate
you.
it.
And Gully, because the fact that I know your true love is out there somewhere, I made you a little heart so that way you always remember she actually exists.
Aw. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
Can I take out some like string from my forgery kit and like tie the little chair vine around like the base of my crossbow?
Yeah,
Like the
almost
sleight of hand.
like a hanging trinket.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, perfect.
Aw,
Absolutely.
keychain.
Oh, thanks, Lito.
All right. So travel. How are we getting to Zora's domain?
So,
So
I don't have a tree anywhere near there that I actually know of.
do you guys have any Zora like armor or weapons?
I know varying
Hang
it.
on. Let me check. Let me see.
have a sword and armor.
Deacon grins. You
I got a
are the
Zora
greatest
tunic.
Zora weapon I've ever seen.
I also
Um,
have what kind of makes no sense now that, hopefully time has changed. I still
Mhm.
have a ring from the Zarks.
I do too. Yeah, I was just looking at that. I was like, what am I gonna do with this thing?
So
Oh.
that's
Yeah. So I've got a Zark signet ring and
Mhm.
a tunic.
Gotcha. Well, the tunic would probably take us to God, what was his name? Toga or something like that.
Tojo.
Was it Toga? Tojo, thank you. Yeah, that would probably bring us to Tojo if we use the tunic. If we use the equipment, it'll probably bring us straight to the forge, which might be interesting to explain to the forge people. I'm game either way, but I just wanted to ask what you guys would prefer. If you want to like do any walking up the mountain, or if you want to just go straight to the forge. Sorry, no, that's a weird question, but if I had my pick, I'd probably say we'll cast it on the sword because going straight into the forge sounds kind of interesting. I feel like we could use some stuff there because at one point we were asked to get some Zoran steel for something I no longer remember why we needed it, but we were asked to get it.
It
in
was
our campaign. It
something
was the
for the big
sword.
Goron.
Oh yeah, it was yeah. You wanted Zoran steel for your flying thing, Lito. So yeah,
Yes,
we
because the
should make
Goron
some
steel
good
was
with
too
the sword.
heavy.
Yeah. So, Lito, you want to go? Well, sorry, I don't want to force you guys, but if you want to go to the forge, we could do that. But if you want to, not, that's okay too. Just asking. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't have any. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
Good. Another place that we won't, I don't have anywhere else that I don't want to go. So yes, that's fine.
All right, so we're
Are you sure, Lido?
You sure, Lito?
I
I
mean, I know
just
you
start
probably
walking.
also want to get back and check on the garden. I mean, not the garden, but our crops.
Well, here's the thing about the crops. We've never actually started them.
What? We didn't?
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I would
we're
need like
horrible.
I need 8 hours to sit in the middle of the field for each plot of land.
You know, I wouldn't mind helping you with that because I could do one plot of land too. I still have that spell too. If you
Well,
want to go see, oh sorry.
that's why I was hoping that if we, double teamed it, we would
Hmm?
have the same piece of land, which maybe would make it even more fertile.
Maybe we could try. I'd be game for that if you want. If we plus if we go to the two patches, it's right by Robbie's, so we could ask him if you want to do that upgrade for Zop. And then if we do that, then I can teleport us into the forge once we're done, and we can have a nap in Zora's domain if you want. Does
Okay,
that sound good to you guys?
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
okay, let's do that.
Okay. Here, and if we go to one patch, then the next day I can teleport us to the next patch. So you know what I'm saying? If we grab pieces from each patch, then like, you know, like if
Yeah.
we grab a piece from the patch outside outside that we're right next to, and we go to the one all the way to the left, then the next, and I get a piece from the one in the middle, and we can like work our way through, and I'll teleport us to and from each one, depending on the next day and stuff, and we can just do that if that's cool with you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So,
So
are we teleporting there or are we walking there?
we have to walk here the first time. We unless you have like a piece of thing from actually, I guess. Heads up. Were you made in the Riku tree or were you made in Robbie's workshop?
I was made in Robbie's workshop.
Excellent. Zop, would you mind if we used you as a teleport focus? That would be very helpful of you if you were okay with that.
I would be happy to be of service.
Thank you, Zop. We appreciate you. I pet him gently as if he were a chicken.
He lets out like a soothing like binary series of like beeps and boops.
Cute.
Aw.
I love him. Okay. So yeah, let's just walk to this patch, and we'll take something from like a tree or something like that, and then we'll come back to that the next day. So, and then I will teleport us to Zop's workshop. And we
Okay.
can go to. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, sorry.
Mm.
If we want, so what time of day is it again?
It's about, it's like 10 o'clock.
Okay, cool. In the morning.
Yeah, like the sun's like
Sorry.
coming up at, at the mid part in the sky, but it's not really quite there yet.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's just head to this patch, and then I'll teleport us
All right.
to Robbie.
So let's have Gully and Afine give me 2 d20s for walking through the field.
Okay.
How long is it going to take by chance?
I say 2 hours.
Okay.
Did you want to do the flying owl thing, or do
I
you
had a
not want
different
to waste
idea.
that yet? Okay, fair enough then.
So is that we're good hoofing it?
If you ride on Chimkin, I can probably take a fiend again.
Okay, if you want to. I mean, yeah, I'd be fine with that. Gully, you're always welcome to ride on Chimkin with me. It would be a blast. Maybe we could, examine your book some more or something if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Sounds good.
Fiend,
Yeah.
you have 2 options. You want to ride a
Yeah.
horse, or do you want to ride something
Ooh.
that's cool looking?
Oh, cool looking. 100%.
Wait, are you
Okay,
saying a horse
so-
isn't cool looking? Horses
I'm
are
going to turn
awesome.
into a moorbounder. That's awesome looking.
Nice.
Oh,
Hell
classic.
yeah. The god himself.
Classic Lido. All right,
Hell yeah.
so
Which is very
given
fast, too.
the sped up speed, we'll take just the 15 on the encounter. Okay, so as you're traveling along the the embankment, you notice something kind of catches a glint in your eye. Do you want to investigate further? Okay.
Yeah, seemed like fun.
All right. You can see that it appears a bottle has washed up on the embankment. It appears to have red contents. Would you like to pick it up?
Yeah, sure. I'll take it.
Okay. Give me a. Just give me a D3.
So D6, and then that would be, I guess, the 3.
Yeah.
If you want to do
You can roll.
D6.
Yeah, you could roll D6 and have 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6.
Cool, thanks. I got a 3
All right. You
on the
found
D6.
a bright red healing potion.
Yay.
Yay!
Does anybody need any? Like healing potions?
Oh.
Okay.
Let me take a look, cause I don't think I can. I don't have any brights. Do I have any brights? Oh, I have 3. Never mind.
Okay. Do you want any more? I give you a couple.
Well, Afine, do you have any bright red healing potions?
I do. I have a few.
Oh, yeah. Well, sure. I'll take it then.
Okay. Here. I hand actually 3 to Gully, so he has more.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Jeez. Want to keep our gotta keep the tankiest one safe.
Thank you.
Okay. So so within the hour, you come upon the location where you were. How is it that you're going to plant the tree? Or refresh me what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't dealt with these trees in a long time.
So, when we get to our plot of land,
Uh,
I will, kind of stop and bend down so that way Fiend can get off, hopefully.
Thank you. I slide off.
And then I'll turn back into Lido. Be like, okay. So the whole idea was basically we were going to figure out what kind of trees we wanted to, plant. Because
Mhm.
I know apple was one of them.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking lemon and maybe like orange.
Fig, please.
Then
I
we
like
still have a fourth.
fig, please. I would like those. Please. Thank you. But that's okay. If those grow
Eh,
here, I don't know. Yay.
Uh,
Used to eat tasty fig cookies. Not had those in a while. Been a while since we've been to a gas station.
Okay, so here's the only issue with that. I've never had a fig before.
We have to take you to the gas station.
Sure. But
There-
I have had an orange, a lemon, and an apple, so I can create those seeds and then we can plant them and then
Okay. That works. No, that works. Maybe not need fourth for now. We can come back to that later. Ooh,
okay.
sorry. I had an idea, Lito. Um, you know, what if we had as like a fourth tree? How about tea trees? We have a bunch of teas around the sorry, they can grow to be pretty big for shrubs, and they could that could be nice. Make your own tea. That's like a very unique sort of crop that we could like kind of like maybe sell people on. I don't know, or it would be good for like the Cetos to have like different types of that, different
So
processing.
tea.
I mean,
What kind of tea though?
well, it comes from like a single plant. It's more how you process it that turns it into different things. So it would be like, Isaac would probably know how to make it into different kinds of tea because like, there are like different breeds of tea, but like in the same way that there's different types of oranges, but like mostly it's just the tea tree that you grow, and it's like a shorter shrub. But if you get them really old or you get them really big, they can grow to be like actually super big trees. But you gotta like let them grow for a long time to get that way.
Okay.
Sorry, maybe that's not the best idea. It's just something that came to me.
Wait, I have an idea.
Mhm.
To see if I have it in the bag or is it? If it's in my bag, holding instead. Because I have so much stuff everywhere. Flower. Darn. Don't have a book about trees. I only have a book about flowers.
Oh,
Um,
sorry.
I don't know what a tea tree is either. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Sorry. Just throwing things out there. I'll let you pick the stuff that you do know. Sorry.
Well, if we start one here and then we go to Robbie's, maybe he'll have like a seed or something. He drinks tea.
Ooh, that would be cool. Okay.
I can
Yeah.
use that.
Yeah, that works. Thanks, Lito.
Okay. So, orange, apple, or lemon here.
Mm, this
Or
I feel like oranges would be good for here. I don't know.
Gully. Orange, apple, lemon.
Let's do some lemon.
Okay. A fiend.
Uh, is this a vote on which one it is?
Yeah, kind of.
I'll switch
I'm
my
gonna be a
vote.
pain and say apple.
Haha, Lito. Now at your decision.
What?
One vote for each. Lito's the tiebreaker.
So here's the thing, Puck.
Uh-huh.
Leto is kind of ingenious, as we've noticed.
Absolutely.
So I want to see if there's any way I can mix breed them all three together.
Cool. That would be awesome.
Mix breed them. So
Basically,
we're not talking about like grafting. We're talking about like
it's
Frankensteining.
yes. So basically, the tree will literally grow as like 3 different vines into a tree, and you'll have oranges, lemons, and apples.
It's the everything tree. I feel like I
Kind
read a
of.
children's story about that once.
And then if in the middle you want, you can make a mixture of all 3 as one.
Cool.
This is again his mind if it's possible to do that. Otherwise, you let me know what comes out.
All right. So we're going for it one way or the other.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to have you give me a nature check.
Can I give him
Oh, you better
inspiration?
believe.
Yes.
There's some guidance, there's inspiration. Okay, let's make sure I have things checked. There we go. Okay, so begin with
In fact,
that's terror.
I'll give you an enhanced ability intelligence, so you have advantage on it too. Focus. We will give you ultimate focus, Leto.
Okay, so I have advantage on it. Let's try that again. He's not another one. Hey! And then it's a D12, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hoping for at least an 8 here. Smart noise.
So 23.
Okay. So noted. And you take the time to dig the hole because you know that's going to work, and you start kind of cracking the seeds open and trying to. You take like the largest casing, which in this case I believe would be the orange pit, the orange seed, and you try to make it like this universal housing. In fact, you might have to kind of use multiple casings of pits to make one singular thing, and you plant it.
Okay.
Plant it. You feel that you have given it the absolute best possibility.
I will then, because you can do it as an action in 8 hours, I'm just going to do it as a quick action.
Uh-huh.
I will cast Plant Growth.
All right. So give me
Gross.
a 3d6 roll,
3d6.
and we're going to see what happens to this plant.
12. So a 4, 2, and a 6.
Okay, so we got. Okay. So as this tree begins to come up through the ground and sprout, initially as it sprouts, it starts to sprout as almost like this twisted vine of trees. And as the barks get thicker and they grow and they continue to intertwine, they start to kind of like mesh together into one singular bark. And eventually it starts to bear fruit. And what happens is it only bears apples and oranges. You can see some like faint would be lemon fruits, but they don't grow enough to kind of really be worth anything. They grow to about the size of a marble.
Okay.
But the apples and the oranges seem to have a bit of yellow tint to them.
Let us compare the apples and the oranges.
I'm just gonna whip out a vine whip and chop down 2 of them.
All right. So one of each, or
Yeah, one of each.
okay. All right. So you vine whip an apple and an orange down. You have them in your hand, and which one would you like to delve into first?
Oh, I'm not delving into them. I'm gonna offer them up to you guys.
I will absolutely eat that apple.
All right. You take
Are they in a theme?
I've not had a. Oh, sorry.
It's an orange, so I'm going to start peeling it and opening up the segments and handing them out.
All right. So as a fiend is like peeling the orange, Deacon dives into this apple, and it is the most bitter, sour apple you have ever tasted in your life. You
Uh,
you start to put together what happened to the lemon genetics on this tree, in the fact that they did not get completely um, overridden, but seemed to at least make the tartness made its way into the apple itself. Um,
The bitterness.
it is a very bitter apple. In fact, I will even go as far as to say like the the apple itself, it appears to be like a golden delicious apple. Like it it's very round and circular. It has a very orange kind of I'm sorry, yellow skin to it. Um, but yeah, the moment you bit into it, it was an incredibly tart apple.
So
He just does that child thing where he holds his tongue out
It
like
just rolls off
for
the
like an
tongue.
excessive period of time. Yeah.
Bah.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, exactly.
I'll put out my hand to take the fruit from him.
I
And
hand
give it
him
back.
back the apple.
Be like, so, Ellie,
Icky.
we were planning to make it into alcohol anyway, and I guess Deacon doesn't like the taste of possible alcohol. Would you try it?
yeah, I'll try it.
All
Hand
right,
it over. Thank
take a big honking chunk out of it, and it is yes, it is incredibly tart. Give me a
you. Oh man,
nature
that'll
check.
put some hair on the chest.
Give me a
So it's
nature
good?
check on the apple.
Oh, me or
Gully, having bitten into it.
Why did I roll that? Oh, I have advantage checked. Oops, sorry.
I guess have an
10.
inspiration too. Fuck it.
All
If
right.
you want an inspiration.
Deacon roll 2, but rolled at disadvantage because you spit it out.
Okay, fair. Where is it? Okay, nature. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
6. Wow.
Okay. Yeah. At first bite, it tastes very bad. It gives you a strong aversion to it, but you do believe that it does have applications. But with a 10, I will not go into what those applications are. So I imagine at this point, a fiend is finished divvying up the apple wedges and
orange?
handing them out to the party. Orange wedges. Yeah, thank you. And it looks like an
Just
orange.
eat it.
It does appear to be tinted a little on the yellow side.
I'll eat one. I'll eat one to get the apple taste out of my mouth.
I'll just down mine.
I'm going to wait for everyone else to eat theirs first before trying it.
Okay. And Gully, do you delve into it or do you wait?
I go ahead. All right.
All right. Oh,
He's adventurous.
okay. So, this tastes like a on the front end, when you first take the bite, the taste of the orange kind of like fills your mouth, and it does have a surprising level of sweetness to it. Um, but the you know what was no, you know what? Looking at that roll, no, it literally tastes just like an orange. Um, the coloring itself did kind of throw you off, made you anticipate something a little bit different, especially after trying that apple. But ultimately, given the discoloration aside, and the seeds look a little funky. The seeds have like a darker tinge to them, more than like the darkness of an apple seed. Um, Not completely white like an orange or a lemon. But yeah, the taste is unmistakably orange.
So, Ollie, apple good for possible alcohol?
Oh yeah,
And the orange, I think, is good.
definitely good.
Okay. So, the question is, do I try and grow more of the same kind, or do I take the seeds that we already have from these and see what happens?
Don't apple seeds never produce the same kind of apple?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which
So,
could give us an interesting result.
That would be fun.
it's a shot. And since I've done it before, I should, be able to like put them together a little bit easier. Or just take the seeds that we have and just try that.
Well, so the seeds that come from the tree are
Mhm.
um, the two different fruits have different seeds, which genetically are neither technically apple nor orange. Just pointing that out.
So, weird seed or weird seed I create?
I think weird seed. I want to see what the apple turns into. Maybe it make tastier apple so that we not have these icky, stinky apples.
Okay.
And apple
So,
orange? Apple?
so more of these seeds.
I mean,
Yay, yay.
I'm okay with that. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Why not?
Okay, you know what that means, and I'll just start vine whipping other apples and oranges out of the tree.
Excellent.
Because I'm like, that's how we can get seeds easy.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. So, what do you do with the fruit after you extract the seeds?
I am going to take the fruit and put it in my bag of holding.
Mm.
There might be, there's no air in it, so yes, it might generate after a while, but until then, it's still something to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your quantity of fruits? I would say each fruit yields a dozen seeds.
Oop, be right back.
That's 60 seeds, should be fine.
Okay. of each, or
Yes. of
okay,
each.
so 5 fruits of each go into your bag of holding, and 60 seeds of each go into what will be
Ground.
planted.
Yes.
Okay. And so this area is ultimately going to be a grove,
Yes.
and we're going to use these 60 seeds to plant 60 more trees.
Yes.
Okay. Let us figure this out. Give me, and we thought that the fireball was a big spell, and give me 60 D4s. Let's do this.
For some reason it rolled that. That's not right. Let's fix that. That was 116.
Oh no.
Okay, there we go. 60 D4s. Okay. So here's
Only
what's
a
going to
couple
happen.
ones.
All of the ones yield non-fruit bearing trees. All of the
So
twos,
12.
the twos will yield, we'll call them golden tart apples. The threes will yield the um the oranges, and we'll just call them oranges. And the fours yield give me a nature check on the fours. Yeah, give me a nature.
Inspiration.
Some
I need,
guidance.
and I believe you still have the advantage if it hasn't been an hour yet. So, or if it has been an hour, I'll cast it again. Let me chalk off 2 spell slots.
You know what? An hour's fine. Even so, I'll say that yeah, that
I'll
will be
put
good.
the D12 on it just in case. Make it really 38.
38. Okay.
Excellent.
So, trees number 4 don't yield fruit, and the leaves that sprout off the tree are not like any of the other 3 trees. Upon closer inspection, they appear to be reminiscent of a sap yielding tree that you've read about in books.
Cool. Cool.
Oh, so sorry, just to save, I counted. So there's 12 ones.
Right. Those are
Bad trees.
bad
Oh,
trees.
I know. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you of each of them.
Okay.
So there's 12 ones, 13 twos, 16 fours, and 19 threes.
I have them all marked down.
Lot of orange trees.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good with this.
You know what? I think you said the one was what we came up the least on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that is good. That's absolutely great.
So,
So, yeah. What would you like to do with these new trees and this new information?
so plant growth over 8 hours time.
I just did it as a just action. That's
Oh,
to help it grow.
okay.
So that way we wouldn't have to sit here for 8 hours and have Gully and Afine just kind of twiddling their thumbs.
Fair point. Okay. Do you need my help with this at all, or?
No, I got it. This one. we come back, then we can actually do the full one. I just wanted to get this
Sounds
started.
good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay.
We'll consider this experimental plot.
That sounds good. Sounds good. That way it's separate from the other ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so our plan was to did you want to do anything with the other two patches, or did you Zora's Domain, or how did we want to do this again?
They're going to Robbie.
Yes. Okay. So, okay. And then, did you want to spend the night at Zora's Domain, or do you want to spend the night at Robbie's? Because just so I know how to allocate my slots.
It depends on how long it takes to upgrade Zop.
Good point. Okay. If you all will gather around me, that includes you, Zop.
He pops like, yep, yep, yep.
Wait,
Okay.
1 second. I go over
Hmm.
to one of the tree and cut off some bark and go, there you go, Deacon, so that way you can come back here.
Ah, perfect. Thank you. Here, let me add that to my inventory.
Which tree?
The first one.
Tree 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Patient 0, I think he means.
I was going patient 0.
Oh, okay.
A
The
mixture
OG tree. Gotcha.
Yes.
All right. So porting to Robbie now. All right.
Mhm.
So you all. Deacon puts his hands on Robbie, on Zop, and you all put your hands on
And
Deacon's shoulder like he's fucking Goku.
and I strike the Robbie pose of like having my hand that's not on Zop just like pointed up into the air, and then I cast teleport.
All right. Boop. And so you port into Robbie's lab. Does anybody have a passive higher than 22?
I do not.
Okay. So you port into the lab.
That's a,
What was that?
No.
I said that's a negative.
So you port into the lab, and it's spacious, but it's not the most incredibly spacious thing. So the moment you port in, you startle Robbie, and he kind of stumbles, knocking over, just kind of like you hear this big clanging of metal, and he covers something over the table, and then he turns to you, a bit surprised and bemused. And he's like, uh, "Hello."
Hello.
Hi, Robbie.
I
Sorry for breaking and entering. Stop had to let us in.
Long time no see.
it's quite all right. I wasn't expecting guests.
Yeah, we
Oh,
kind of
I'm
do
so
that.
rude. I should have used sending. I'm sorry.
No, it's quite all right, quite all right. And he just kind of like starts like tucking the bed sheet. And he's just like,
So what you doing?
working.
On
Um,
what?
It's a special project. It's not ready yet.
uh,
Ah,
well, so sorry, Robbie. But we were talking with Zop. He's been very helpful up to this point, and we were thinking that you mentioned the possibility of upgrading him, and sorry, I just wanted to cut to the, not trying to be rude or anything. I hope, but yeah, we thought that maybe since you had a lot of ideas for upgrading him, you seemed excited at the time. Maybe we were thinking if there's anything we could do to help you, maybe in return you could upgrade him. Lito came up with the idea that maybe he could start recording things that are happening, like in real time and stuff. Just in case we needed it to catch bad guys. And he thought, since you're like obviously you're smart enough to make something like this, so like I feel like that should be easy for you. So just but if there's anything you need for materials, we could go get those. But just thought, um, yeah, maybe, yeah, we could do that. Sorry.
Well,
Also,
mhm.
this is a fiend. That's Gully. You probably haven't met them because they weren't at the
Oh,
tree when everything happened. So yes,
sorry.
a fiend, Gully. This is Robbie.
Yes.
Kind of smart.
Yes. Very
He's really
Hey,
smart.
smart.
Robbie. Nice to meet you.
Genius.
A pleasure
Actual
to meet you
genius.
all.
But yeah. So yeah. I yeah. I once again pet Zop, like much in the same way that I would pet Chunkin.
And he goes, well, I mean, you are right. You are right. So I can upgrade. So okay. So here's I guess I didn't have time to fully explain before. I was you know um there was a lot
Sorry
going
about
on
that.
back at the Deku tree.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, we're kind of busy too. Thank
I
you.
I don't think that they really wanted to hear me prattle on about my inventions and everything. So I kept it brief. But
I get that.
so what I have is this particular model is capable of up to 4 upgrades.
What?
And so I'm very happy to be creative, but ultimately, um, you know, Zop being an aid to you guys, you can pick what you want for upgrades, and I'll just kind of figure out how to do it. So you said recording.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
there's one of 2 ways, and they are technically separate upgrades. One would simply just be audio recording, and one would be video recording. Now, if you simply want audio recording, that is possible, but I would not particularly recommend having a video recorder without the accompanying audio recorder as well.
Those are two separate ups, or can they be combined into one?
They are 2 separate upgrades.
But theoretically, if we got both of the upgrades, we could get a recording that is both audio and video at the same time, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Or we find out what the other upgrades and maybe there's something better.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well,
Do you have any other ideas? I mean, I know
uh,
there's probably a lot knocking around in that head of yours.
I mean, that there's a weapons upgrade. Um, you can always go that route, but um, I generally think of Zop as more of a you know passive kind of bot. But I can give him an upgrade, a weapons upgrade if you'd like.
Oh,
Um,
I like having him as peaceful, very docile.
I can give
Much
him
cuter that way.
a potion dispensing upgrade. Um,
Hmm.
I can give him a let's see what else. I can give him a storage upgrade. Um, that might come in handy down the road. Um, and let's see. Yeah, that's kind of everything that's kind of coming to mind for me at the moment. But if you have anything that you're kind of mulling around, I'd be happy to figure that out as well.
I think
I'm
the
not.
storage upgrade would be a good one to put in with the uh audio upgrade.
Now, with the potions, is it like he's going to automatically feed it to you, or is it like a syringe and he's just going to like jab it into you?
No, he will dispense, and I can assure you that part of the potion dispensing upgrade comes with a certain degree of tactfulness. So it would not be in an abrasive or forceful action. But he would not take the initiative. He would need to be commanded.
Okay. Let's see. can he become invisible?
I mean, I suppose with the right materials, I could. I don't know about invisible. I could definitely, at least off the top of my head, do um, highly reflective, kind of like a camouflage type deal. But
I tried. Oh, sorry.
I would be hesitant to call it invisible.
I chime in. What if we got some hide from the camouflaged invisible Lizalfos? Those guys seem to be pretty darn invisible in any way that me can tell.
It would be along those lines of invisibility. If it would make you comfortable calling that invisible, then yes. But ultimately, that would still technically be a camouflage.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But yes, the camouflage would be along those lines. I wouldn't just simply slap some paint on him that appears to be looking like leaves or stuff. Like it would be genuine camouflage along the lines of something that would be comparable to a chameleon as
Cool.
alpha.
So not along the lines of disguising him by putting, say, a bucket on top of him.
Well, I could put a bucket on top of him. In fact, if you'd like, I could even maybe fashion some fibrous material to give him a dashing mustache, if you know that would please you. And I would technically not. That would not be considered an upgrade. That would merely be considered cosmetic. And you hear some kind of like happy binary beeping again.
I kind of love it.
Well, would you like a moustache, Zop? Zap? Zop?
He would say, a dashing mustache would yes, it would make me very fancy. I would like to know what it is to be like to be fancy.
Could we get him a little top hat?
He goes, would you like me to make you a top hat, or would you just like to acquire a top hat?
I mean, I was thinking we could like, you know, I mean, I know someone who I don't know. Maybe we could find like a tiny one from like the armor store or something, and then we could just like glue it to his head. But I don't know.
I would imagine a top hat would not be difficult to find.
Fair.
Can you make him have the ability to get smaller?
Um, it's possible, but altering his size might contradict other physical capabilities. So,
Well,
if you are looking for something to alter size, I would say tread carefully and plan ahead.
Out of curiosity, is he waterproof?
Yes, I haven't tested it to an extensive degree, but he's not going to rust in the rain, and if he needs to go for a periodic swim for whatever reason, that would not affect his function.
Hmm.
Oh,
I wonder if he could be modified to hold air to breathe underwater or something. I mean, obviously, Leto has spells for that, so it's not necessary. But
that could be a reasonable modification. If you're looking for Zap to become a larger presence in potentially dangerous situations, I might also suggest um, a a vitality upgrade. He is he is not the most durable at the moment.
that makes sense.
Become fully sentient.
Stranger things have happened in this campaign.
so what if it's not a like official weapons upgrade? Now, let me explain. This ring, it stores spells, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way you can make it so Zop can like have like a spell or two inside of him? So that way, if for some reason we have to like make a getaway, he can cast like the spell darkness, or he can be like emergency like fireball, or what else would be good?
if you would like to,
Revivify or something.
if you would
Healing.
like to take, I'm sorry, if you would like him to take on um, properties of another thing, such as your ring, um, you can call it whatever you want, but it's still going to be one of his upgrades.
Okay, his thoughts.
Cool.
Interesting.
Typically, as it is now, I at least according to my programming, Zop is not capable of utilizing magical items.
Okay. And Zop, you can see me right now, right?
Of course.
Okay, keep looking at like where I am, and I'm going to try and walk behind him and then go, "Can you see me now without turning around?"
He says no. So
Okay,
when Zop is out, his ball form kind of opens up. So it's very clear like which way forward facing is for him.
okay. Could you make it, Robbie, so that way Zop can see like all around him and not pop out like that? So that way, if we bring it in and people are like, "We have important information. Hopefully, there's nothing that records this," we could be like, "Yeah, this is just a little ball," and he'll be recording.
So I can definitely upgrade his optics so he is capable of recording, and if you would like that to be um I'm not entirely sure I would be capable of making it like omnidirectional, but I could put the recording software in him to the point that it is more flexible than simply front facing. And I can also put it so that when he's in his hibernating state, that it would still function.
So, I have a question for you.
Mhm.
Why does it have to be soft?
What?
You say it has to be software. I don't understand where you're going to put it. It's going to be soft. It's going to like make him weaker?
No, not soft as in like weak soft, soft as in like not tangible. Like you can't touch it. You know, software is part of his programming, whereas opposite of that, you have hardware, and he kind of like knocks on Zop and he goes, "See, Zop is hardware because he is physical. So anything
But
that
he's also made of metal.
yes, very hard metal. So anything that is inside of him that is not physical, such as programming, would be considered software. It's not something. I promise. It's not something that will jeopardize his livelihood.
So, Gully wears armor and that's hardware, and I'm flesh and blood and I'm software.
No, you're hardware, but your thoughts are software. See, like you have a thought, right? But you can't
I
touch your
have many.
thought. But you can't touch them. But you have them.
If I write them down, I can.
Well, no, because then that becomes something tangible. Then that becomes something written on a piece of paper. That's not even something that's connected to you anymore.
Is magic software?
It kind of is, yeah. It's
Hmm.
software. You know, I never thought about it that way, but yeah, technically it's software, and the components, the things that you need to cast the spell, such as, and he kind of like reaches into his pocket and for some unknown reason just brings out this giant lump of key squano. And
Oh man. Oh no, he's gonna cast fireball.
he goes he
I
goes
wish
see
I didn't recognize that instantly.
he goes, this would be considered hardware because it's something physical, but what comes from it, which is which some people can make a fireball with this, and I mean I can't make a fireball, but
So why do you have poop in your pocket?
Deacon looks very proud of himself.
He goes, there's other uses, you know. He kind of like sheepishly kind of puts it back in his pocket.
Oh man, I wish I had a Korok seed right now.
And he goes, but we digress, because we are here for Zop. We're here for upgrading Zop.
So what are you guys thinking?
And a
Well,
lot of
Zop,
thoughts.
Zop did request a moustache.
That good idea. Yes. If there anything we need to give him, that me okay.
He goes, I suppose any type of fibrous material and an adhesive will do. And he goes, and then he reaches back into his pocket and takes out like a little kind of like wet nugget. And he goes, this could qualify as a lower level adhesive. It would get the job done as long as he's not doing anything too vigorous.
I have cotton shirts, and I have a cotton shirt cut into strips, and I have a hemp pouch, and I have sealing wax.
Okay.
Does any of that sound helpful?
The strips and the wax could be like the center point of like what holds the mustache together.
Okay. I take out the cotton shirt and the strips and the sealing wax, and I say, "You hear you wax mustache, but not know if this is how it works. Still, might be helpful."
And then anything fibrous.
Okay. I don't think I have anything like that, unless you count like rope.
Technically, if you just took rope and just kind of like took a moment to pull it apart, that would become fibrous.
Okay.
You
How
know?
about the hemp pouch? Will that kind of count? Oh,
But yeah, that could
probably
work too.
not. Okay. Yeah. Can I kind of? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that even given how much hemp you would need, it wouldn't even whatever you removed technically wouldn't even negate the function of the pouch.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll kind of like cut out a strip of like hemp and just kind of unfurl it. With like kind of like pick at it with my hands and my do a little bit with my dagger to scrape it a little bit and such. And then can I use some ink from my forgery kit to make it to make it black so
Absolutely.
that hell yeah. Okay, so yeah, I offer all of this to Robbie and say I hope this enough to make him most fashionable mustache.
And within just quick, the longest part of it was um, the melting of the wax as he just kind of like melts it and like works it into the strip fabric, and then you can see he kind of like takes the he takes the black fibers from the pouch and um, kind of finagles into a mustache and rolls it up with the waxed fabric and um, puts the guano back in his pocket. and and yeah, Zop's got a mustache.
Nice. Thank you, Robbie. I pat Zop on the head and I give him a thumbs up. Hopefully, it as good as he wanted. I
He,
would hold up. I use prestidigitation because I can conjure tiny little trinkets for like 6 seconds. So I conjure a tiny little pocket mirror to show Zop what he looks like for a couple of seconds, and then it like disappears into smoke.
he beeps happily.
Excellent. Excellent.
If you want, Deacon, I have the actual mirror that we have.
Oh yeah, forgot we had that. Oh,
So I have a couple of ideas.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So we can do like 4 upgrades, you said?
Yes, 4 total upgrades.
Now the storage one more time. Means we can like put stuff inside of him?
Oh, I suppose that I should have specified better. I mean, yes, we can do that. But I'm altering his size would be difficult. The storage that I suggested was more for informational storage. Um, so what would happen was it would essentially be a 2-part physical upgrade for him, because if we are planning to record both visual and audio data, that would be very cumbersome for him to keep it all indefinitely. So what I would ultimately do is I would create a type of card for him that could be inserted into him. Um, and I would create a separate kind of storage box where you would keep the long-term things, recordings that you want um, to hold. So I can ultimately he can record. I can keep on him roughly a day's worth of audio and visual if we're going to go the audio visual route. So one of two things can happen. Either you can have him default record everything, in which case every day you would need to replace the card, or you can command him when to record, and that might be a little bit less cumbersome for you guys. Or you could
Um,
simply keep the storage as it is, and once things get to the end of the storage, it would simply rewrite itself, and you would simply lose the furthest data recorded.
to be honest, I kind of like the idea of the storage and the recording stuff. But I don't know what you guys think. I was thinking, I mean, if I had to chime in with, that would be like 3 out of 4. So maybe we could do the potion thing. That's just a thought, though. I mean, I'm not married. Me not married to idea. Oh,
So if he doesn't have the storage, how long would he keep whatever he has in his memory?
He would keep 24 hours worth of audio. So basically, like what even further, what it boils down to is the the audio takes up less space, so that in the 24 hours is only 1/3. It's, to keep it a long time, the audio would be 8 hours of a 24-hour cycle. The video, which requires a lot more data, would be twice as much, and that is technically, to keep it along those lines, 16 hours of the 24 hours of audio. So once the audio, once the memory bank is full, it will automatically delete the furthest recorded information in order to and replace it with the most recent recorded information.
Okay.
But if you simply want audio and you're not worried about video, then we can keep 3 times the amount of information.
Interesting.
And also understand that not everything has to happen in this very moment. That's why that's why I consider them to be upgrades, because they can be put in and taken out at any given point. Um, and then you hear Zop call in the background. He goes, don't take it away." Getting the impression that he feels that if you remove an upgrade, that it would be removing something of himself. which
Oh.
also indicates that in some level, on some at least base primitive level, he has a concept of self.
Yes, we must keep him safe.
So he became alarmed when Robbie suggested that upgrades can be removed, but Robbie still stands by it. Upgrades can be removed, upgrades can be added, they can be switched. They don't all have to be done right now. And also, depending on what the upgrades is, I may or may not have the components and require additional things.
Okay. Could he have like a little grabby arm?
Yeah, I could give him a grabby arm upgrade.
And how much could he like hold?
Uh, without compromising his movement, I probably couldn't give him more than like 5 pounds worth of carry. If you would like, if you have plans for other things, um, I can give him a leg upgrade, which would remove which would still let him be mobile if he were to exceed that 5 pound limit. That would upgrade his carrying capacity to roughly 30 pounds, but he would lose the ability to hover. So he would need legs, unless you wanted to carry him, which would defeat the purpose of him carrying stuff.
2. I think we need to talk about this a little bit more.
Of course.
Mm.
A lot of good information. So what's under the cloth?
A project, a personal, very important project. Something
Are
that
you making a girlfriend?
no, that would be gross. Yeah, that would definitely be. I mean, no judgment, no judgment. I so let me not. I take back that it's gross. I say that it would not be something that I would be interested in creating for myself.
Very polite of you, Robbie.
Thank you.
I still think you need to apologize to Zop.
For what?
You just said it was gross to have like a robot type girlfriend. What if Zop wants a robot type girlfriend or boyfriend? You just said it was gross.
Zop goes, not a girl, not a robot.
Aw, good for him. Good for him.
Eh. So is your project something that you need stuff that we could go get for you? And then you have to show us what it is?
No, it is something that I am working on that is something that is very personal and very important, and yeah.
Is it dangerous?
You're not gonna take over Hyrule with it, are you, Robbie? You're not gonna go mad with power, are you?
What have I done to hurt you people?
I'm just joking with you,
I
Robbie.
know.
I'm sorry. That was mean. I'm sorry. I was just trying to tease you. Be funny.
No, that was me breaking immersion and saying that.
Oh!
A lot of stuff you've done to us. You're not trustworthy of anybody anymore. There's a robot that, can't record. I bet he can record. He's recorded everything. He's told you everything.
He's always switched on this thing, waiting for
Mhm.
keywords.
Yeah.
And so so he with the intense questioning, he starts to get a little bit frazzled, and
I,
mhm.
I was just I gently like just like kind of like grab his hand and pat his hand like as I would as if I could pat his shoulder, but I can't, so it's his hand. And I go, sorry, Robbie, kind of just teasing you. We get carried away sometimes.
And he kind of lets out this sigh of relief, and goes, yeah. Sorry, I don't get a lot of people around here joking and stuff. I went over my head a little bit. I apologize.
It's okay. Man, out of character, I'm really tempted to do something, but like I know that I shouldn't do it.
A gust of wind, tidal wave. Um,
Anyone know Mage Hand?
No.
unless you're an
So,
arcane trickster, Mage Hand is visible.
all right, I'm gonna do that thing I didn't want to do. So Deacon, in like earnest like concern, he kind of looks around the room,
Uh-huh.
and he says, "So, Robbie, how's Pura?"
She's out getting
Ah, okay,
stuff.
okay. Give her my best wishes, okay?
Of course, of course.
Um, that's good. Well, I'm glad she's doing okay. Um, I he smiles. I didn't know she was the adventuring type going out and fetching stuff for you.
Oh, she's such a wonderful sister. Always being thoughtless and considerate of anything that might need to get done. We may look like
Hmm.
the occasional recluse now and again, but um, we still need to adventure out and you know
Hmm.
do things.
That's good to hear, Robbie. I wish you both the best.
Thanks. His voice is getting a little high pitchy now.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I feel bad, honestly, but it is what Deacon would do.
Do it.
All right. Um. Okay. So, let me check what I've got real quick. Okay. So, yeah.
So, Robbie,
Yes.
here's the thing. A lot of stuff has gone on lately, and it's made me kinda a little, I don't know, skeptical of people. So, you hiding something under a sheet kind of makes me worry.
I'm
Um.
I'm not
You're not.
hiding.
Oh, sorry.
You
Uh,
covered it and basically made sure we couldn't see it as soon as we showed.
well, it's
Yes.
it's not finished.
I I would like to take Robbie's hands again, and I will just kind of like take his in both of mine, squeeze it gently, and I look up at him with kind of like trying to emphasize my more innocent gaze, since he probably hasn't really seen all the shit I've been through, and I go, it's okay to share with us, Robbie. I mean, if there's anything we can do to help, we would like to. But part of that is, if there's any project you're working on that's big, we need to know how we can help you, and part of that's knowing what you're working on. Promise we not judge you on whatever it might be, Robbie. I know it's hard, but you've done a lot for us, and this is just one way. If there's anything we can do, we'd like to help you. And obviously, I know Lito's a little worried, but if you're willing to share it with us, I promise, all we want to do is help you with it.
All right. Give me persuasion.
I feel so bad for this.
You have no idea.
I know. I know. I just feel like shit. 25.
You can see that the tears in his eyes start to well up. His face starts to get a little puffy. His nose begins to sniffle.
God damn it.
And he just falls down to his knees, puts his head in his hands, and just starts bawling uncontrollably.
I hate myself so much for this.
He tries to get the words out, but he can't. He's trying to form the thoughts and the words, and only partial statements are coming out, things that don't make any notable sense. And he takes one hand and he puts it underneath the cloth. He's holding something.
Can I roll an insight to put together like the high pitch makes this? I know it's gonna be a tough one, but
Yeah, you can try. And I'll tell you what I can tell you.
18.
18.
Yeah.
You can make out. Well, you can put together one phrase. And after him repeating it over and over with very poor success, you're able to put together the phrase, "They took her."
Oh god, okay. I sit down next to him and I hug him. Like I just wrap my arms around him. Go, oh god, Robbie, I'm sorry. Who took her?
As you embrace him, his hand still underneath the cloth sheet, it kind of drops down in a sense of kind of like dead weight situation. And you can see that beneath the cloth, Robbie's holding a hand. He says, "I don't know, but they took her." And I need to get her back.
Do you have any idea? I understand, Robbie. I know how it feels to lose somebody. Do you have any lead? This might be the real thing we can help you with, Robbie. If there's anything we can do.
Says, I don't know. We were here. We were in the lab and we were working late, and I asked her to just make a quick run into town to see if she could grab a couple components for a project we were working on, and she just never came back. And the next day I was awoken by a loud knock on my door, followed by a letter slid beneath my door, letting me know that they had kidnapped her. But the note wasn't signed.
I understand. Do you still have the note, Robbie?
It's somewhere. It's around here, and Robbie's not a strong person, but he has just a white knuckle grip on the hand beneath the tarp, and he is just not willing to let go or move.
I gently squeeze him. I'm still hugging him at this point. And I say, Robbie, take a couple days. If you can find it, I'll see what I can do to help. I'll round up anybody else who might know something about this. But if I can get that, how long ago did you get the letter? How long has it been?
Months. I don't. I honestly haven't even heard much from that day. I've tried to ask around. I've tried to see if anyone had seen her. I even put out a post in the Adventurers Guild, which I very quickly took down because I didn't want people to know my situation.
I understand. It's fine, Robbie. We know it well, each of us at this point. I think we all share that commonality. So we feel for you, or at least I do. If I turn to my compatriots and I say, if I try to gauge reactions as I speak from each of you guys. If we can help, if you can give us the letter, I have the ability to teleport to places. Maybe we can help if my party is okay with that. Just give us a couple days to think about it. We'll need some time to find it, and I'll need some time to make sure this is okay.
Hey, Robbie.
Mhm.
Where's your sister's room?
It's upstairs. I
I
mean,
start going upstairs.
the whole lab is just like a large kind of open studio, but it's
Mm,
easy to locate where her sleeping area is.
okay. So I am going to start looking around and see if I can find a piece of her hair, get a shirt, pants, something like that, get those together. Is there by chance a picture of her and like Robbie or just her somewhere?
Yeah, I would say that there's a picture of her and Robbie on her nightstand, framed photo. Um, they look even now a good bit younger than they did now. I would say they're
Okay.
probably from when they were teenagers.
So I'm going to grab all of those and be like, Robbie, I got you. I'll be right back. And I'll actually walk outside because I need a little bit of space. And I will start casting Scry on it. Since now I have what she looks like, an item of hers, and hair, it should be a lot easier.
Hmm. So you scry,
Mhm.
and you see this shimmering dome. I'll call it a dome for the time being. It's this you're kind of looking at it from this like bird's eye view from maybe like a 45-degree angle down, and it appears to be like fluid and liquid, but if you try to push through, it doesn't let you. It appears to be some type of barrier. But it is somewhere here. Like it's not like another plane of existence.
Can I see the area around the bubble?
The area around the bubble appears to be desert. But aside from that, there are not a whole lot of notable markings.
So once I'm done with that, I'm gonna walk back inside. I'll put the stuff back where it is. Deacon, I need to borrow you for a moment.
Sure. Anything you need.
I will reach in the bag and take out a special sword, give it to Deacon, and go, look into my mind, and we might be able to find her.
Okay. All right. You know what? I will. I will give that a shot. I will. I will take hold of the sword. I will. And yeah, I
Detect
will.
thoughts.
Yeah. Yep. I will. I will attempt to cast detect thoughts via the sword
Okay.
on Lito.
So you know what? No, not yet. Okay. So you use detect thoughts on the sword. And you know what? Since you and Lito are holding it, I'll even say that this whole thing kind of happens in a collective way. Where Lito, you have the memory of the scrying you just did, and Deacon, you were connected to that as well as the thoughts of the sword. And the sword laughs. It laughs because, well, it laughs and it lets out a few choice words. It says, not everything our fault. How long do you listen? Well, actually, I say, do you want to probe deeper? Is a more appropriate question.
I'm looking to Lito for guidance on this one. Fuck it.
Just like, go for it. See
All
if you
right.
can.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Let's try a little more.
All right, give me the roll.
Sorry. What's the roll?
To probe and detect thoughts?
Yeah, I don't have to
Oh,
actually.
gotcha.
If I'm willing, he just does it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the probe is for the sword.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't actually know what I roll. I thought it was that the sword had to make a check or something. Sorry, I haven't read it in a while.
You know what? Let me give a quick check, because
Sorry.
does the sword need to make a roll? I thought it was I thought it was the prober. Or I think you can you know what? I'm not even going to speak.
Here, let me.
So
I got it pulled
wisdom
up.
save by the target.
Okay. All right. So,
Unless the sword has an intelligence lower than 3.
no.
Okay.
Not currently.
Unfortunate that that's true.
Does it succeed your save on an 18? Deacon?
Sorry, it's my save, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm let me. God, for some reason I thought it was Lito's save. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Yes, 18 is exactly my DC. So I'm going to use my new spell and cast a reaction.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
I use silvery barbs on the sword. It's a reaction which I take when a creature I can see within 60 feet of me succeeds on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw.
Mhm.
I magically distract the triggering creature and turn its momentary uncertainty into encouragement for another creature. The triggering creature must re-roll the d20 and use the lower roll. I can then choose a different creature I can see within range. I can choose myself, and in this case, I will choose myself. And the chosen creature has advantage on the next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw it makes within the next minute. A creature can be empowered by only one use of this spell at a time. So give me a re-roll, just like one more roll.
All right. 8.
Okay, that won't pass.
All right. So you're delving into this thing.
Fuck it. If I know that the abyss also looks back into me, but I have to know this.
All right. Um, you get a rapid succession of flashes of many things that have happened throughout the history of Hyrule. You get quick flashes of the Hyrulean Civil War. You get reminiscent flashbacks of your campaign. You get reminiscent flashbacks of other people's campaigns. You get what you believe from the description. You see a picture, a brief flash of Afine's brother Il with the Zoran crown atop his head. You see the Zark and Zanister sigil crumble and cease to exist. And as you're being bombarded with all of these visions, the sword speaks to you. And it says, there are... No, how can I word this? At any given moment, you can all be surrounded by a far greater evil than I could ever conceptualize. Quite honestly, I'm jealous. So from that you gather that the sword does not know where Purah is. The sword does not know who took Purah. the sword knows, well, you know, you have a fairly good inkling of how old and ancient this sword is.
Deacon is fairly terrified at this stage, to be honest. Just for future reference, he'll probably drop the sword at this point.
Uh,
If it will let him. If.
Well, okay. So
I'll let you finish. I was just
yeah,
flavoring,
yeah,
as you go, this is how he's reacting.
yeah. So
Sorry.
Lito, as you, because this is going to depend, as you feel Deacon starting to like pull, like jerk the sword, like jerk away from the sword. What are your thoughts on the matter?
I need to get it away from him.
Okay. So, Deacon, give me an athletics check at advantage as Lito is helping strip the sword away from you.
Thank you. 18.
18?
Mhm.
That'll do it. And it's going to be a bit rough as you take every ounce of strength that you can muster and try to at first let go of the sword, but then realize the function of the sword and try to get the sword to let go of you. It holds, but eventually gives way. And as you fall, on your butt and
Mhm.
stare at the sword in an unbelieving kind of way, you can see just angry vapor coming off of the blade, and you feel the presence of the blade just staring at you. But nonetheless, you were able to break free from it.
Deacon is kind of visibly shaking at this point. He kind of scoots away from it. Just in that primal sense, Leto, that the most evil thing me ever felt since the mask, and maybe even more so. It said that it has nothing to do with Ganon or the Yiga, what happened to Pura. So, me can only imagine it's something to do with the Hylians. Maybe some degree of bitterness after the war for them being Sheikah.
Interesting. So, why don't let you read my mind?
It didn't
What'd you say?
prevent it.
Sorry.
Deacon was able to get the visions that you had in your head. That was not something that was resisted, and it was not something that the sword prevented. So Deacon has any information pertaining to the situation that you have. He saw the orb, he saw the sand.
Is there any feature that I would recognize? I know it's just kind of sand, but I know it's a tough question. If I recognize the barrier in any kind of way, maybe from the portal that led to where Link was in the past campaign, as an example, I'm not sure it's even close to the same, but obviously it's not the same thing because that was a Yuga thing, but you know what I mean. So
The I would
Like,
under
sorry.
under assumption, it's getting kind of like a reference for the size of this protective barrier.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it does not appear to be. You can safely negate that it is not the Gerudo Fortress.
Gotcha.
But given the places that you've seen, the outposts, things like that, it could be a place you are familiar with. It could be a place you are unfamiliar with. The Gerudo Desert is a large and inhospitable place.
Very good point. We might have to go digging at some point. I will relay that exact to Toledo and say, could be somewhere I know, could be somewhere I don't. I've spent a lot of time in the desert, but this is so big that it's just not the fortress, but it might be anywhere else. So
It was worth a shot.
it was. Deacon, still kind of like sweating. He's like, sorry about that. I wish could have done better.
Well, that was my idea. Sorry.
It was a good one. It was a really good one. I think maybe if we head to desert soon after we finish here, maybe we could find something. I would still, if you guys are okay with it, I want to discuss it with Gully and Afine at some point. We have more pressing matters. I mean, Robbie is a good friend, but I'd rather see what we can find out about Afine's brother before we go helping someone who is not in our party. That may seem disrespectful to him, but I have to prioritize our party at this moment. That's
Okay.
not something I mean to be rude, but it is just how I like to roll. But in a couple days, if he can get the letter, I'd like to see what happens when me cast teleport on it to see where it was written initially.
Yeah.
It's possible it just takes me back to Robbie's lab. Not sure about that. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But it should take me to where it was come from, like where it originates from. So it's an if, but in the meantime, maybe we head back to Zora's domain and we'll see what we can do for Afine. Thank you. I really appreciate this.
No worries. Hey, Gully. Need a favor from you.
Yeah, what's up?
So I'm gonna pick that up and I point to the sword. If for some reason something happens, feel free to chop off my arm, and I think Deacon could probably grow it back.
I can.
Are you sure?
No, but I'm gonna try anyway.
And are you sure you can grow his arm back?
Yes. I'm pretty
Okay,
confident in my
shing.
regeneration.
Well, the best thing is it is fire, so it should cauterize the wound.
This is true.
Oh, you didn't want me to chop it off yet? Oh crap, my bad.
So
What were those instructions again?
If I pick it up and for some reason
God.
it goes bad and I'm like, I am no evil, I am going to, I don't know, evil things, then you cut my arm off.
God, Cully, you're the best.
Oh. Well, can you put this back on? I was a little preemptive. I'm sorry.
Did you actually do that? I need to know.
No, we won't do that. Okay, I got it.
It was a practice swing.
Yeah.
Just a warning shot for the sword.
It's been a little while since I had a chance to swing this. Okay, all right, I'm good. I'm ready. Okay.
You know what, Gully?
Please.
You don't worry about cutting it off. The fiend.
Oh, boo!
Yes.
Oh,
You know, I don't know. I'm just gonna pick it up.
okay.
And I reach down and pick it up.
All right.
You
I
see,
try and-
you see Gully like bouncing around in the back. Just just getting ready, just in case.
Just itching. He's looking for like an eye roll or just anything to let him know that
Yep,
Lito
just
lost
the
control.
wrong little twitch. Shoop.
Okay, so you grab the sword. You have an immediate connection with the sword, as always happens.
I'm just gonna put it right into the bag of holding.
All right, so you lift it up. You open up the bag. You stick it in.
Let go and just pull my hand back out.
Yeah.
Well, that was uneventful.
Okay, a little disappointed I didn't get to see Deacon regrow an arm.
You,
I
you,
know, right, Afine?
you can still chop his arm off.
Lito,
You
you
know,
want me to? You want me to? You want me to? You want me to? You want me to? I'm ready. I'm ready. Come on. Lito, come on.
Take one for the team.
does it have to be my arm? Can it be
I
like
mean,
something else's arm?
but you wanted me to chop your arm off if you like freaked out a few moments ago. Okay, fine.
What if it's me, but in like animal form?
But that's not really the same. Whatever. Do it. Come on, let's go. Come on.
What are you gonna turn into an Octorok? So you have 8 of them.
Oh, it's gonna turn into a random, like I was gonna turn into a bear, just let it lop off.
What's
Literally,
what's
Sadistic.
as
French
soon as the
paranormal?
transformation happens, shing.
Just don't
Is him
hurt
turning into an
the
evil campaign? No, just chopping off each other's arms.
just don't hurt the legendary Moorbounder.
Yes.
Right?
Anything but the Moorbounder.
Well, before we do any of that, do we have anything else we kind of, need to do today? Because if I do that, then I have to rest, and then he's got to, use a bigger spell on me, and then I won't have that to do other things today.
Just
Fine. We won't do it.
I promise, if I ever go bad, all for you, man.
Ooh, that means you could cut off all 4 if he goes evil. All 4.
I
Is
only
that
have
what he
2
said?
arms.
Got legs.
No. He won't go evil. I won't have to chop any arms off.
Yeah,
he
this
won't
is
go
true.
evil.
This is true. This is true.
Okay. Stay good. Stay good, Lito. Stay good.
Stay red.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
That should be good incentive. Stay good.
At the threat of
So-
losing limbs.
so Robbie, we're gonna be the ones that are helping you.
Robbie seems at least mildly traumatized from this entire thing.
I feel like so shit for what I just had to do to him.
From divulging the disappearance of his sister to still not fully divulging what's under the tarp, to seeing the issue with the sword, to watching Lito almost get dismembered. Like Robbie's had a day. Like this is just like a day for you guys, but Robbie's had a day.
But for us, it was Tuesday.
Yep.
It was just a Tuesday.
So, Robbie, you know what cheers me up when things are really bad?
Uh-huh.
Um, little animals. Are you a fan of like dogs, cats, chickens, cuckoos?
No, animals are gross.
Kind of insulting, but okay. Um, uh,
In like in the far back, like keeping watch, walks and shakes her head. Wow, rude.
um,
Oh no.
got nothing.
Because
Um,
I, I I I don't think I can help you guys anymore
no,
today.
that's okay, Robbie. If you can find the paper, that's plenty of help, and we'll come back to you when we've all had a little time to mull this over. Okay?
That sounds good.
I
Hey.
have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is actually something that could actually help.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
May I recommend we discuss it outside so we don't traumatize Ravi anymore?
To be
I
honest, I
promise this
thought,
won't
thought that's where we
traumatize him.
were.
This won't traumatize him. I promise. I'm just gonna recraft a little piece of maybe like that big. Okay, Robbie,
Yeah.
whatever you're doing under the sheet, can you somehow put this inside of it in a way that it won't like fall out?
Um, I could.
Well, think about it this way: if you do that, and whoever comes and gets whatever you're doing, we would be able to then go to it.
I. I mean, I've I've shared this much with you, so what's a little more? And kind of like gets up because he's still just in a ball right next to the table, and he kind of like gets up and straightens up his clothes and tries to collect his demeanor, and he tucks the arm back under the sheet, tucks the hand back under the sheet, and he with great care starts to like move things, like adjust them to what he feels is like the appropriate place that they should be. And after he does that, he starts rolling back the sheet from the top down. And for as best as you can muster, what you find is you find um, this amalgam of machinery and what appears to be artificial flesh. And the fleshy bits, like one of the arms, a portion of the torso, um, the face but no hair. It looks like Pura. And he says, because this is what I've been working on. Says I part of me needed to make this so I didn't feel so alone. And part of me needs this because it's my best chance to get her back from who's ever taken her. But
Also,
she's not ready yet.
Maybe. How does that help you get her back?
It's the best thing I could think of. And
Robbie.
he kind of
Sorry.
like he starts to like point out like certain aspects of um of what he has on the table, and he's just like as he starts explaining small aspects of it, you realize that this is um essentially a battle android with a skin to look like his sister. He says, I have named her model. She goes, this is model PRA 9K. And
I'm sorry.
I'm getting something up. And here, maybe I can show it this way. Um, oh, I know it's in here. Yeah.
While you're doing that, would it be okay if I
Yeah.
continue talking or okay. So I nod to Robbie and I say, me respect what you do here, Robbie. But you're not quite alone. You've helped us with Zop, and even if that was just because Queen Zola said so, I feel like I owe you at least something return, you see. So will do best I can to help once we finish some things that I promised I do for that me promised me do first. But I want to help you very badly, Robbie. So as soon as we can, we will make sure that we do so. Just have a lot to look out for. Maybe we haven't been to desert yet, but it possible that an inkling of where she might be. Don't do anything rash, but that is our first clue, and that is something we keep in mind. Okay?
Okay.
I like I said, I give him another hug. I say again, promise we do our best. I do best for you. You say, cool.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So this picture doesn't have any of the skin attached. A sneak peek to what will become of model PRA 9K.
Cool.
So, so Robbie, he's he's working on some shit.
Mm-hmm. I'd say he's going through some shit, my man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. I hope you guys don't mind pledging assistance. I just, I don't know. I feel, dude. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a side quest or something someday. Um, but yeah.
So, yeah, he slowly takes the time to lovingly and carefully wrap the sheet back up towards the top of the table. And he says, "Well, yeah. So, I look for that letter, and and give some thoughts to the upgrade for good old Zop, and I'll see what we can muster.
Sounds great, Robbie. Thanks. Look forward to seeing you again. We might need to give you some time to rest for now.
Yeah, I feel a little drained.
I bet.
I think I'm gonna take the rest of the day.
Good plan. Good plan. Take some self-care time.
But
Hey, Robbie.
yeah.
Last question I have for you.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you getting the flesh?
It's not real flesh. It's a rubber composite, but it's something that have been developing for many years. But it's also something that is very resource intensive. So it's not something that I can use in large quantities over small amounts of time.
Okay. Cool. Didn't want to have to kill you. I'll walk out the door.
That's a hell of a statement before you leave.
Oof, man, that's I mean, hey, keeps them in shape, I guess.
Fucking A.
For some reason, he's killing people to put flesh on this thing. I'm sorry,
Oh,
that
yeah,
turns
no.
him evil.
No, yeah, that's a killing. That's
Yeah.
a killing.
You know what? I did just give you a whole speech by the sword about how people are far more evil than he could ever be, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
so yeah, safe assumption. But no, it is artificial. It is a rubber composite.
Yeah.
Okay.
So okay. So does everybody leave the Robbie's lab with Lito, or does anybody hang around for anything?
I want to just append with one last statement. I want to be like the kind of the last to leave, just hang around for a sec.
Okay.
And I'm gonna leave him with the much milder. And with that in mind, Robbie, just remember, you're not alone. You have us. Bye.
He just gives a very exhausted kind of, wave.
Yeah, that's the best he can do.
Yeah.
That's the
Hey,
best I
hey,
got to say.
Robbie,
Sorry.
real random question for you. And you probably don't know the answer, but I was just curious. You know how I can use flames with my sword? Do you happen to know a way I can switch it from flames to electricity or, something else on the fly?
I mean, magic isn't really my forte, but
Okay.
sorry.
And he's out.
Okay. And to feed. At what point do you depart, or do you have any parting words for Robbie?
I'm glad leaving quietly. Anything I say will just make the situation worse.
Understood. All right. So
I left quietly after the leader.
yeah. Okay. So you found yourself outside of the lab, and you found yourselves within reasonable distance to the two remaining orchards, and no small number of things on your agenda. So what is the next step?
Does he have like a doormat or anything out like that, Robbie?
Yeah, I'll say he has like a straw or hemp looking doormat. It's got something
I'm
written on
taking
it
it.
in Chica.
Cool. I can't read it, but I am taking it.
He's just yoinking his doormat.
Yes, because I want to teleport outside of his house and not directly into his lab next time. In a roundabout way, it's more polite.
He couldn't have taken a stone from next to the door or just steal the doormat.
Just, You know, it was funny. I just watched. As an aside, I was just watching this video on YouTube yesterday. I love this YouTube channel called Tail Foundry, and they just did a video on what an anti-villain was, and to kind of like you know abbreviate it an anti-villain is somebody who kind of like does something good but has bad repercussions. And I'm like, so I'm sitting there, I'm watching Deacon, like Deacon's like justifying stealing his doormat. It's like, I'm stealing his doormat so I don't teleport into his house. It's a good thing. I love it.
Doing. Sorry.
But yeah, Fiend, do you say that out loud just out of curiosity?
Yeah, no, I'm saying that out loud. Do you really have
Okay.
to speak his doormat?
Tikkun looks thoughtful for a second. He's like, "Oh, I guess I could do that." Since you recommended the rock or something, let me see. I have an adventurer's kit, so I take out a crowbar, and I look. Are there any loose pieces of rock around his house?
Give me a your choice, perception or investigation.
Okay, I will do perception.
I meant like a stone of pebble. Please don't tear his house apart.
17.
Okay. I mean, you find a ton of rocks, but you also realize that he's not the neatest scientist, as presumably many aren't. So, on top of rocks, you also find a number of like nuts, bolts, small chunks of metallic pieces. So feel free to take your
Okay.
pick of anything that's in the area.
I will grab some bolts,
Okay.
and I will gently place his doormat back where it was, as if it never left.
So here's the thing. I forgot to ask him about tea,
Oh,
and I
that's
don't think I
okay.
should go back inside.
Yeah, that was a silly
Also-
idea anyway. That okay.
Also, dude, if he would have taken the mat for some reason, somehow, it would have come back that his sister had crafted it, and then he would have went a little more crazy.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about
It
that.
was the
That's
last
true.
thing I had that was from her.
Yeah, the type of thing.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
He just like falls
So,
to his knees and like puts his hands up and like forsakes Hylia.
literally, like, gets a warlock pact from Ganon now.
Yeah.
Punished Robbie.
Robbie becomes like the Hylian equivalent of like the Catholic story of Job.
Oh.
Oh. So yeah, okay. So you find yourself outside the lab. What is your next move?
So, what time of day is it?
Um, we didn't do any long traveling bits, right? Like everything we've done pretty much was
I teleported us straight, basically here.
Yeah.
Didn't I?
So
So we only traveled for like an hour since the 10 o'clock.
yeah. Okay. So I'd put it at this point roughly about like 4-ish.
Okay. Do you guys have anything you want to do before we head to Zoro's domain? Did you want to work on the other patches, or did you want to head straight to looking for ill? Yeah, I could. We might find some interesting stuff in Old Zoro's domain. I haven't been there in ages, so.
Okay, so I know this sounds bad,
Mhm.
but Resort's domain anyway.
Mhm.
Why don't we go to Castletown to see if there's any like adventure quests that we like do something at the same time. And the last time I did ones in the Zora domain, it was actually to get Zora and steal and what like
No, that's true. That's true.
that way. We're close by to.
That's true. No, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Lito. Yeah, we should swing by Hyrule Castle Town. That'd be fun. Yeah. Oh, so Puck, I have one like completely unrelated side question.
Uh-huh.
But since Deacon's like going back to Chimkin, I noticed that you don't have stats listed for the Goron Warhammer. Is that still like a potential like weapon that we could use here?
Really? Let me.
Yeah, it's like it's probably there but not visible. But yeah, there's like it's one of those.
Equipment, weapons. Okay. All right. Let me
I don't know
just.
if it's like done or anything, but yeah, I just wanted to
You know what?
just ask about that now that we have one.
Yep. I have it here. So let me just give it a quick once over and make sure I'm not looking at like one of the old like game breaking archaic versions of it.
Definitely. Take your time.
Sophine, that was Robbie. Last time we met him, he was kind of, normal.
Okay. All right.
Not
All
kind of
right.
going crazy.
I
Warhammer
can
is up.
understand why he'd be completely distressed at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really understand making the robot sister, but
Love make you do strange things sometimes. Strange to other people, but never to you. You know? Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
strange and stupid.
But
Okay. So the Warhammer is visible now.
cool. Thanks. Yeah,
Okay.
that's good. That's good to see.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So, just a quick question before we go any further.
Mhm.
What Decoon saw, I saw too. With the sword.
Yeah, because I had pretty much said that like you were all kind of like in this whole thing together. So yeah, under normal circumstances of detect thoughts like that wouldn't happen, but under this situation, which involved the sword, that's the way it functions. So you saw everything that Deacon saw.
Sophine, got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Was your brother like a king or something?
Why do you ask?
Might have seen him with a crown on his head? No. Just wondering before we go to Zora's domain and see if things are different between what I remember and what you remember.
The best way to describe Athene's expression right now is flicking between horror and anger. We need to get to Zora's domain now.
Any protest? Like, does that? I don't say that out loud. I look and see. I give it like 3 seconds for either of you guys to
Good.
say. Okay, cool.
Whoa. Did Athene just say now?
That's true. That important. Okay,
She
we
Oh
go.
put
yeah,
her
we
fins
need to
down.
go. Yeah,
Yeah,
we need to go.
yeah, I clap my hands. All of us, including Chimkin, are now in the forge in Zora's domain. Sorry, yeah. Oh wait, sorry. No, I can't just clap my hands. I gently like grab the tip of Lito's Zoran blade, then we just appear in the forge in Zora's domain.
All right. So you appear at the forge, and you are instantaneously surrounded by
Oh
Zoran
shit.
guards. spears drawn, with very intense looks on their face. And just one of the guards simply says, "You guys better start talking real quick."
I don't even understand what we did that's wrong. I'm sorry. Is this place condemned?
Give me a perception at disadvantage simply because of the amount of guards that are around. Makes
Okay,
it hard to kind of like you're mostly, I would imagine, kind of like looking through their legs at this point.
Sure. I get a natural one.
There's a lot of legs.
Gotcha. I just stand there like mouth agape, and I say, so we just got here. Yeah. We were coming to come investigate. Like, sorry. Give me one sec. So, hi. Yeah. Sorry, we just got here. We were coming to investigate and rumors that we heard in Zora's domain. Something about a new ocarina shop, amongst other things. Um, and yeah. One of the stops was we once bought something from this forgery from this forge. So we were hoping to see what else was here, but we haven't been here in a while. So if you could also explain to us what happened, that's made this place wrong. I mean, I would appreciate that.
The speaking guard turns to the blacksmith and he says, "Blacksmith, is there any truth to what these people are saying?" And the blacksmith looks at you and goes, It's been a while. It's been a long while. But these two," as he points to Deacon and Lita, goes, "they look familiar." I mean,
Okay.
because the
s-
little one's
I,
hard to forget.
yeah.
The guard sees up a
I
little bit.
forget what I'm sorry.
No, that's all I was going to say. Guard sees up a little bit.
Gotcha. I forget. We did the same thing to him, like, during the time skip, but I don't remember if we ever made a good on anything with him. I forget what our other interactions with him were. Didn't we, like, hire him to do something or, like, help in some way? But I don't remember how.
You had,
What do we
to
do?
my recollection, you had brought him a number of resources to um, kind of like forge the steel for something, but I don't recall exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree. I also don't
yeah,
remember
it was
that.
some kind of side quest, which is why like he
Mhm.
recognizes you, but he's
Gotcha.
like so much time has passed since those
Understandable.
years ago that there's like a familiarity to you, but
I
he
gotcha.
doesn't want to like claim association.
Yeah, I chime in. We had the same, I'm in like cheerfully, like obliviously, like yeah, this exact same way we met last time. Teleported into your house.
Because that's right. Well, you know how to make an entrance, even if it's not the smartest way to do it.
Not gonna lie, it might have been the smartest way to do it because it made sure you remember us, and we really appreciate you helping put everything at ease. Um, could you tell me what's going on here? I mean, if there's anything we can help with, I'm sure we'd all gladly do so. I just need to know.
Yeah, I mean everything is fine, honestly. Um,
Oh,
you just kind of, I mean, I'm not trying to blame, but you just kind of popped in and I mean, some people might perceive our guards to be a little bit edgy, but um, And then a voice kind of pierces through the murmuring commotion. Says, "That's enough." And without a word, a collection of guards start to part. And decked out completely. Well, one of the things that you've noticed at this point, from the guards who are inches to feet from your face, is they are all wearing they're wearing tabards with the traditional Zoran family crest.
Hmm.
And as the collection of guards instinctively part without command, you can see one Zoran also decked head to toe in traditional royal family garb from the Zoran royal family. And furthermore wearing the most ridiculously ceremonial gaudy hat helmet. Beneath the piercing of the brim, you recognize those eyes. You recognize that sword. It takes a moment, but you recognize that voice. As the head of the Zoran Royal Guard approaches you,
Is it Norin?
it is undoubtedly Norin.
Hey! Long time no see.
Tension immediately breaks as Norin commands the guards to stand down and withdraw their weapons, which they do without hesitation. And Norin sheathes his sword as he embraces Leto.
Give him a big hug.
And then he gets down on one knee and he embraces Deacon. He says, "God damn it. Highly damn it.
Hmm?
Where the hell have you guys been?"
Oh, you know.
It's a story.
Good to see you again. Wow. God. It has been so long. Even for me, it's been so long, and that's saying something.
God, it's and your friends.
Oh, yes. The Fiend, I pointed at Fiend. This Gully, I pointed Gully. This Chimkin, I pointed Chimkin.
Says it's
Fiend.
Nice to meet you.
it's a pleasure to meet you all, and it's a pleasure to see Chimkin once again as well. It's well, as I've said many times in the past, any friend who's friends with these two is always in good company with me. We've had some times.
It was a very interesting time.
Can you give me a rundown on what happened? I remember it's one of the first sessions, so I kind of forgot.
So, we killed Kyburn.
Yes.
We then brought him to where Kyburn was to take credit for it
That was it. Yeah.
and to tell the king that his son basically said he's a good guy.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. God, that was a good plan.
And
That's where I was like, there you go.
and
Some things work so far.
you
Hell
also put everything that the Zanishers were doing to the forefront.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you like you foiled the poison plot by like basically putting the evidence from one person's pocket into the other's hands.
And
That
I
was
also
really
killed
funny.
Jamie and brought him back.
And I killed him again. It was awesome.
Punched Marty in the face. Yeah.
There,
Good times.
there was some stuff pulled there, I'll tell you.
Talked to the king.
Yep, yep. You definitely
Bunch of stuff.
took very extensive measures to prolong the king's life, and your reputation has definitely been solidified in Zora's domain.
So I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So I have to ask, were you guys just like standing in here coincidentally, or like how did you get here so fast?
Well, I was I was nowhere near, but I've become rather quick to respond to something so intense when my guards act this way. And
To be honest, I meant all the guards that we got surrounded by.
yeah,
You're very
he
kind.
he orders them to
You
disperse. And
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to chime in one last thing on the statement.
mhm,
Really something to behold that you have guards that like quick and sturdy. I see you do your job well, Norrin. You you make an even better leader of the guard than you did as a leader of Zora's domain and where I came from.
well, thank you. And as the he orders the guards to disperse, as you're clearly not a threat. And the moment that the guards disperse, you all can get a much better view of Zora's domain, and you realize that um, it wasn't just coincidence that the guards reacted so quickly. There is a very prevalent presence um, with guards all around. Um,
Hmm.
and and then Norn begins to point out. He goes, "Well, I understand how this may seem different from the last time we saw each other, but the thing that I feel the need to point out is um, that we have not increased in in size and force, so to speak.
Mhm.
We have just fixed the fracturing that happened. There's
Wow.
there's no longer any resistance. There's no longer any guards that are loyal to the Zark family. There's no longer any guards that are loyal to the Zanister family. There is simply the Royal Guard. And
Wow.
under one banner, we function much more efficiently.
No kidding. Wow. That was really amazing, to be honest. Scary, but amazing. You guys run a tight ship here.
Thank you. It's been prosperous.
Glad to hear
So,
that.
Noreen, got a weird question for you.
Yeah.
So, there's a bar that has like ice keys, and there was a sign that was left there not to kill them. Are they actually still there?
The if I can remember back that far, the existence and appearance of the sign did prove to be a little odd. But since you're asking the question, I assume that you had something to do with it. So that does answer a lot of questions. But um, yes, the ice keys that reside within Zora's domain um, have become regarded as a protected species.
Yeah.
Yes. The domesticated ice keys. I have to iterate. The feral ice keys outside the domain, different issue entirely.
It's kind of cool.
Well, it's good to see that you had such a rippling effect on our community. But so, friends old and new would have. I assume you didn't come here to speak to our blacksmith. What brings you here after all these years?
I just step back and motion to a fiend.
Ditto. I mirror that motion on the opposite side of a fiend.
He looks puzzled. He says, a fiend, yes. And he kind of like puts his hand out in a very gentlemanly fashion. Says, you know, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Norin. I am the head of the Royal Guard, and um, it appears that our friends are lacking in choice for words. So
Oh no, I got plenty, but I want her to go first.
what
Oh.
what can we do to help you?
I'm just going to say, Athene hasn't looked up since we entered Zura's domain. She is completely oblivious to all of this. She has been banging on the spell ring this whole time, trying to get it to work and struggling. Desperately trying to
Sorry.
get it to work and not paying attention to anything.
It's been at least an hour, right? So you should be attuned to it.
When did you start
I'm at
attuning?
literally before we even went to the literally the second we left Death Mountain. Like,
Okay, yeah, plenty of time.
okay. So you're attuned to it now. So Dean is going to, I imagine, notice this, and he's going to like gently, stealthily reach over, poke the ring with like one finger, and cast sending into it. And then the next 6 seconds, you will be able to cast sending.
Wonderful.
Well, since she's not
Yeah,
paying
sorry.
attention,
Mhm.
To clarify, also, sending is sorry. It's I'm gonna dump the spell in chat for you. It's you get 20. Oh, you get 25 words, and if they're on a different plane of dimension of existence, you have to roll a d20, and if you get a 1 on the d20, your message doesn't go through. But here, sorry, I'm pulling up the spell real quick to see if I can get it to post. Okay, yeah. So you send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar. The creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender if it knows you, and can answer in a like manner immediately. And any creature with an intelligence score of at least 1 can understand the meaning of your message, and it can be across any distance in other planes, but there's that 5% chance the message doesn't arrive if it's on a different plane. Posting that in chat.
Thank you.
Deacon whispers, let me know if you need more casts of that. Okay, sorry.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Deacon.
I give a little thumbs up.
So, as Leto attempts to interject as he sees that Athene is preoccupied with while
kind of like, fiend. Ew.
so Norin ever so gently takes his hand and with his forefinger just ever so gently touches underneath Athene's chin with it and attempts to lift up her face so that their eyes are meeting. Does she in any way resist when she feels her hand, like when she feels the finger kind of like touch the bottom of her chin?
Probably not, actually. She's just so lost in her own mind, she'll just let him do it and look up.
Okay. So as she kind of like as her eyes come up and meet his, he looks and he goes, "My, aren't you something special?" what can I do to make your stay here as pleasant as possible?
At this point, Iffing's mind probably just sorts circuits and she starts blushing like mad and stuttering. I can't get the ring to work.
He says, well, let me have a look at it. He takes the ring, he kind of looks at it a bit. Says, I think I can help. Takes her hand, slides the ring on her finger. Says, all you need to do is think of the spell that is inside the ring, and you will have full control over it. But after you use it, you will have to have my good friend Deacon here replenish it for you.
Yes, sorry, thank you. Thanks. Hi.
Hi. And then he kind of, with her hand still in his, he just ever so subtly and gently lifts her hand up to indicate for her to stand up.
She's gonna get up very carefully, just
No,
completely confused by the situation.
no, that looks like it. That looks so much more comfortable now. And as he turns to Deacon and Lido and Gully and says, so, can I escort you guys somewhere?
I guess, is there a good place to rest? We might be doing a lot of, he thinks, messaging and paperwork, depending on how this goes.
But how about, is there a good place to eat?
Ooh, yes. Hopefully both of those things at once. Room service, please. That would be nice.
Absolutely. Because I will take you to the best place in town.
All right.
If I couldn't remember the name of it. I'm glad I brought my notes up. Uh, okay. That was the name of it. Okay. So he says, well, the Slumbering Deep Inn is still active. And it's the best place in town. It's got the best food. It's got the freshest fishki and a place for you to stay as well.
Sounds good.
All right. So, let me escort you. And so he starts taking you through the town. You can, as you start walking through the town, the murmurs kind of, you see a little bit of talking, a little bit of whispering, various topics. Some people talk about how you hear the phrase "faded warriors." You hear a little bit of distrust. You hear a little bit of excitement. There's an array of emotions coming from so many different people, but no no aggression. No, you don't really feel that your presence is in any way threatened here, especially as you travel with Norin. So,
I need to throw something in real quick.
Yeah.
So, as we're walking, Lito's kind of like slipping back. Just he looks like he has something on his mind, and he's just like he keeps staring at Norin, and he keeps looking down, and then stares at him again, and he's like, yeah, he doesn't know. It's just something's bothering him.
does he detach from the group, or does he just kind of play back a little bit?
Just stay back a little bit.
Okay. So eventually you come to the Slumbering Deep Inn. And Norin enters with you. He brings you up to the barkeep and he says, "Listen," he says, "I know I say this a lot, but I really mean it this time." So this group here, they're with me. They're friends to myself and to every single person here. They are to be treated with respect. They are to be treated with courtesy, and they are to be treated on my behalf. And the bartender says, nods to Norin and says, "I understand. But understand you are amassing quite a tab." He says, "Yes, and we will settle that. No worries." So, he continues to stay with the party. You guys grab a table. They immediately start bringing you food. They start bringing you drinks. You start reminiscing about old times. Effine and Gully start becoming acquainted with Norin. He tells you stories about how, he started off as being the personal bodyguard of Princess Rudo. And then when times got tough in Zora's domain, he ended up heading the resistance against the Zanister family. He tells you a bit about what happened to the Zarks. So for those who have noticed that there have been no insignia of the Zark family, no mention of the Zark family. So in conversation, when that gets brought up, they just kind of let them know, like, nothing really inherently bad befell them. They simply decided that being in politics was simply too dangerous, and that they were going to switch to a simpler lifestyle. So the Zark family does still reside within Zora's domain, but they've given up all of their political affluence. So as this continues on, and I want to say roughly at least an hour goes by, just between the eating, the drinking, the conversation, the whole bit. And soon you hear a small group of large trumpets outside of the entrance to the Slumbering Deep Inn. The door flies open. 4 guards come funneling through. And after the 4 guards comes a Zoran with dark green skin, orange fins, and a crown. He points. He makes his eyes make a beeline for Effine. He points, cries out, "It's a witch!" And this is where we're going to end the session. So,
Okay.
you know what? I'm going to thank you everyone for joining with us tonight. Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry,
Sorry.
Deacon. Okay, just giving quick.
All good. All good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, checking. Nobody following us is broadcasting tonight, so we will not be rating tonight. If you want to check out any of the other 4 channels that we have rated, they are located on our LinkedIn, our link tree, and as well as the link to our Discord, the link to our YouTube channel, and all those good links. So, for those watching us live and for those catching us on YouTube, or even our recorded session on here on Twitch, thank you for everybody. This has been a phenomenal session, and I can't wait to continue to flesh out what is happening in Zora's Domain. But until then, have a great night, everybody. Bye.
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 Have a good one, people.